What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new video here on my channel. Today we're going to be doing a quick video reacting to Jack Wilshere's highlights. The former Arsenal midfielder, after spending 10 years at the club, joining in 2008 and then leaving in 2018, has today announced his retirement from professional football. A post on his Instagram says, today I'm announcing my retirement from playing professional football. It has been an unbelievable journey filled with so many incredible moments, and I feel privileged to have experienced all that I did during my career. From being a little boy kicking the ball around in the garden to captaining my beloved Arsenal and playing for my country at a World Cup, I have lived my dream. That's a post on his Instagram and social medias, and he goes on to thank a lot of people who have had a big influence on his career, including, of course, Arsene Wenger, who I'm going to read a quick quote from in his book. In what he said about us, what he said about Jack Wilshere, and what could have been in his career had it not been for injuries. And a fitting title for the actual video that we're reacting to is called Jack Wilshere Could Have Been World Class, Just Watch This, which I believe is completely true. At the age of just 16 years old, he actually made his debut in the league, which is unbelievable when you think about it. Everyone remembers that Barcelona game as well in 2011, playing against the likes of Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, and completely dominating the midfield. That's kind of the one game that sticks in my mind, that I think that was kind of the peak of Jack Wilshere before all the injuries obviously started to creep in. I'm sure that highlight or a few clips from that match will feature. But without further ado, let's get straight into this reaction video. Right, let's go. Let's get into this video. Really sad what happened to him. Very passionate, as you can see as well. Arsenal through and through. Telling the guy to be quiet. Great talent as well. Just a shame, really. Look at that, in tight spaces coming out on top. Look at that first touch. That first touch when the ball comes into him. Straight releases. The first touch is the most important. Releases himself to actually go forward. He could have taken a terrible touch and went backwards and would have been stuck. But he opened his body up and went. He was one of the best at that, actually. Opening his body up and coming out of tight situations. I remember he done that several times. In that Barca game as well. If you look back at the highlights, which I'm sure are going to come up in this video, like I said. He done that quite a lot. Great ball. Oof. It's the RVP. Oh, absolutely shattered him. I can't remember what game. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen Wilshere in ages. I haven't seen clips of him in ages. But he absolutely destroyed him. We all know what happened with RVP and what that situation was. Obviously, Wilshere coming through the Arsenal ranks. I'm sure there was a lot of feelings behind that tackle. For that, opening his body up again. Very strong as well for a small player. Look at that, 2 tackles by big guys as well. Was that Mikel? Didn't see the first guy. It's not easy to do that when you're that small. Look again, opening the body. 1-2 with Cazorla. But yeah, who remembers the goal as well? Who remembers the goal with the what was it, against Norwich? Yeah, Cazorla, Rosicky, and Wilshere, and Giroud I think involved as well. And then obviously Rosicky chipping a goalkeeper. That was a classic goal as well. He's shaking hands. Very vocal on the pitch as well, I remember him. Always being loud, always standing up for his teammates, as you can see. Yeah, I remember the Tottenham one, yeah, with Bale. Yeah, I think there was one with Adebayor. Completely took out, I think when he was at Tottenham actually, or yeah, I think it was when he was at Tottenham. Absolutely took out a player. And Jack Wilshere came running from down the pitch and really had to go at him. And I think Adebayor ended up getting sent off as well, if I'm not mistaken, for a second yellow. Always very passionate on the pitch as well, which is very important, and it's what you need. Great finish there. It's not easy, you know. This was a Champions League game, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. I think he scored 2 goals in that Champions League game. I believe it might have been, can't quite remember. It might have been Marseille. I don't really remember. Or Napoli, maybe? No, don't think so. Look at him. Completely trying to take out Dembele there. See you later, Yaya Toure. Against West Ham. He obviously ended up going to West Ham as well afterwards. Played for Bournemouth for a small while, but always Arsenal. He's always gonna be remembered for his Arsenal days, isn't he? Oh, what a ball that is. See that no look fake, looking to the left and giving the ball to his right. Absolutely gave the defender the eyes. He was, when I think of Wilshere actually sometimes as well, I think he was one of the few players where when he was on the ball, you're confident he's not going to lose it, he's not going to do anything stupid with it. He was very tidy on the ball. You could never, you never unsure of him on the ball. You always knew he was going to keep the ball, he was going to hold, release when he needs to release the ball. A real Arsenal player, a proper midfielder, a proper Arsene Wenger player, I would say. Very tidy and very forward playing. Let's keep this going. This against Chelsea. This is the game against Norwich. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that's the Barcelona game, quickly. Is that Newcastle? Quick little 1-2s, liquid football. Really easy. Yeah, this is the goal against Norwich. 1-2-2. One touch football. There was 2 goals that game. Yeah. Let me just pause. There was 2 goals that game, wasn't there? I'm thinking of this. I was thinking of the Rosicky goal, where they play 1-2 with Cazorla and I think Giroud, and then Rosicky ends up chipping it. But there was this goal as well, which I completely forgot, with Wilshere, Cazorla, Giroud, Wilshere again with a simple tap in. And I remember this goal as well. Everyone thought Wilshere was offside, so everyone kind of stopped. And even the keeper, as you saw there, I don't think he even dived. Everyone stopped and thought, he's offside, obviously. And it ended up being a goal. Brilliant goal again. One touch football. Again, typical Arsenal. With him back heel as well there. And finishing off with his weak foot. Unbelievable. I'm surprised there's no highlights here from the Barca game though. That was my favourite game of Jack Wilshere's career, I'd say. That was the best. It was one of my favourite games at the Emirates as well. There you have it. I'm surprised there wasn't any highlights from any of the Barca games. Yeah, that game was absolutely unbelievable. That was one of my favourite games Arsenal have played, just at the Emirates in general, and also one of my favourite Jack Wilshere games ever, obviously, of his career. He played again. At that time, Barcelona were at their peak. They were winning titles left, right, and centre. I think they were unbeaten for a couple. I think at one point when they came to the Emirates, I'm not sure if it was 2009 or 2011. They were unbeaten for a year, or had lost only 1 game or something ridiculous like that. And to be able to absolutely outplay them, okay, maybe not absolutely outplay them, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but to actually be able to put up a good performance, a very strong performance against that Barca team, in a time when we were, still making that transition from the Emirates, still kind of rebuilding, still not spending that big money. Absolutely unbelievable. I remember that game, Jack Wilshere really stood out, and I think from that game he became pretty much most people's favorite player of that squad. And then injuries just let him down. Talking about injuries and kind of the move from the Emirates, and Arsene Wenger's book, My Life in Red and White, my autobiography, which is a really good book and I would highly recommend it. That's it right there. He quickly talks about how Arsenal's kind of lack of financial ability at the time after moving from the Emirates meant that they had to rely a lot on young players, and the reliance on those young players have maybe sometimes wasn't the best in terms of injuries for those players. So let's just read a quick paragraph or two from what Arsene Wenger said. So this is on page 208. So he says, another factor was that numerous players, and the younger ones in particular, experienced some terrible injuries. For some of them it put a stop to their careers, for others it certainly hindered them a great deal, especially if they were out of action for a long time. They are one of the great regrets of my life, those major injuries. I gave my young players their debut when they were 16 or 17. It is an age when they are vulnerable, both physically and tactically, in that they have a tendency to head straight into dangerous situations and not know how to protect themselves, charging into some perilous duels. Aaron Ramsey, Jack Wilshere, Abu Diaby and Eduardo Silva were injured in aggressive tackles, which perhaps in association with a weakness in a joint handicapped them for a long time afterwards. This does not mean that we should have waited until the players were older before selecting them. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo and Cesc Fabregas all began their careers when young and did not receive injuries of that magnitude. It is a risk, but I think that players are better protected today and in less danger than they were in those days not long ago. So it goes to show you that, and we saw there in a couple of tackles that, a lot of Jack Wilshere or a lot of players were actually tackling him. We saw how different it was just even 10 years ago, how different it was and how not protected, let's just say, the players were from referees. But that's what Arsene Wenger had to say about Jack Wilshere and his injuries. But it's a shame. It's a shame. Great career. Could have been even better should he have been injureless and would have gone on to perhaps be, more than just an Arsenal legend, which I think he probably is in a lot of Arsenal fans' eyes. Obviously he didn't win much, only won 2 FA Cups I believe and a Community Shield, but again, nonetheless, like he said in his tweets or in his Instagram post, he lived his dream and he was able to kind of play for the team he loved. But that's all from me. Congrats to Jack Wilshere on an incredible career, and hopefully he alluded to him moving on to other things within the footballing world, so we could see him obviously being Arsenal manager in the future or being involved in Arsenal in some other capacity. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought. If you don't follow me on my other socials, make sure you do. I'll drop all the links below in the description. I post exclusive content on there that I don't post anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.